Coming up on the Empowered Woman podcast.
Accept who you are and who you're not, and start to lean into the fact that we're born into this world not inherently good and not inherently bad, but actually neutral, and that your self-worth was there because you exist and your existence is enough. And there's no negotiating that. That's untouchable.
Welcome to the Empowered Woman podcast, the #1 show on visibility strategies for women entrepreneurs. If you want to get empowered to be seen, stand out on social media, stages, TV, and more to make an impact with your voice and business, you're in the right place. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Marcia Spurk, and I'm your host, professional singer and visibility strategist. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode.
Are you feeling stretched thin, constantly behind, or guilty no matter how you choose to spend your time? Amy Pierre-Russo can help. She's a certified work-life harmony coach dedicated to helping entrepreneurial moms find ease, flow, and fulfillment while reducing stress, guilt, and burnout. Book your free discovery call today and start building a life that works for you. The link is in the show notes.
Hi, Samantha. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Marta. It's so good to be here.
I know. I'm super excited to hear more about how you're empowering women out there. Tell us more about who you are and what you do.
So my business is Bold Bitch Coaching, and I am a coach for high achieving and perfectionist women who feel powerless and insecure, but who really want to live that unapologetic life. I'm here to help them get that life.
Okay, now I need the backstory because I will have to ask you how the name came about, but I will get to that because I love it. But first, how did you get into this? Give us the behind the scenes.
Yeah, so I've been belly dancing actually for 19 plus years. And through belly dancing, I started coaching. And I started coaching about 10 years ago or so. And I realized there was something that was missing, the next phase of my life. And so that's when I entered into coaching, formally coaching, about 2 years ago. And then just this year is when I realized the next phase of my dream is to be a speaker. And so I just went after it, made a choice, went after it. And now I'm going hard, helping women when I can on stage, off the stage, in coaching, conversations. This is my life's mission for sure.
Oh my gosh. I love that. What a journey. What are some of the parallels? And I guess also what would come up in the classes that led you to this? I mean, I'm sure you have all kinds of stories, but now I'm curious. I think I can see some of the connections, but I'd love to hear from you, as the expert, what this kind of unravels for women, or, what conversations you would have with clients to be like, all right, I guess I need a coach.
No, exactly. When it comes to something like belly dancing, it's so seen as something that's sensual and that women with confidence do it. And then it's also a dance form. So it's also typically done socially. So the women that I've been coaching, they want more body confidence. They want to reconnect to how they feel versus always being in their head, because they're usually professional women. So they're thinking all day. So they want to get back in their bodies. They want to feel that sensuality, and they want to have fun because their whole schedule seems to be revolved around, what do I need to do? What do I got to get done? What do I have to do for work? And it has become such a grind, but not in a passionate, fun kind of way, but in one that kind of grinds you into the ground where there's nothing left of you afterwards. And so through time, I've noticed that women just want to feel good in the body that they have right now and not feel like they have to change any part of themselves physically, especially physically, to fit some kind of mold or beauty stereotype before they can claim confidence for themselves. So that's definitely the one that I come against most with my clients. And then as we work through it, everything else gets unraveled, because to them, they see that at the surface is body confidence. I want that. I want to feel good about myself. But in order to uncover what's not making them feel good about themselves, they have to go against other things like perfectionism and someone they identify with as a go-getter, type A, who can't fail, all or nothing thinking, lots of people pleasing. And it just becomes this vicious cycle that feeds into why they don't feel good about themselves.
That makes so much sense. And and that's why we end up not doing this kind of work and just staying in our head, because you got to dig deep and look at parts of yourself that you have avoided. But that's where change happens. And Beautiful, beautiful stuff starts coming up the surface as well. I love that. Now, in thinking about, the beginning of your journey and what you've learned throughout all this time and now coaching people through, what is like the best piece of advice that you would have given yourself back then and, life wise or maybe business wise? I'd love to hear more about the growth of the business as well. But what comes to
Yeah.
mind for you?
Gosh, if I were to go back and give myself a piece of advice, it would be to keep the people around me that saw the best in me,
Mm,
even when they saw the worst parts of me, when I was sad or I was annoying or I was mean, but they still cared for me and supported me. I think having that circle around you is what makes us feel not isolated. It's what makes us feel like we can be human and still have people love us. And when we don't have that and we become isolated or we spend a lot of time in like undesired solitude, then we start to have this negative echo chamber
yeah.
and we lose touch with people who see us as more than that moment of failure, that moment of sadness, that moment of like, I effed up.
Yeah.
Right. And so I would definitely say, like, keep the people who loved me regardless
Mm,
and be okay with the naysayers, be okay with the other ones who would judge me for fairly superficial things.
hmm Absolutely. Yeah, we spend so much of our lives thinking about if people like us, the whole people pleasing. Um, and it's really when we learn how to stop wanting to be everything for everyone that we get to be ourselves and we get to be our authentic selves. How do you guide women through this process of I don't want to just be accepted, I want to be who I am, and how powerful that is?
Yeah, I think one of the first things is to really meet yourself where you are and just own your truth.
Mhm,
Accept who you are and who you're not.
mhm,
And start to lean into the fact that we're born into this world not inherently good and not inherently bad, but actually neutral.
yeah.
And that your self worth was there because you exist and your existence is enough.
Mhm,
And there's no negotiating that, that's untouchable. So if we can allow our brains to put that to the side as something that just is like gravity,
mhm,
right? Then we start having different conversations. We actually allow acceptance to come in. We allow to ourselves to own what we like. We allow ourselves to own what we don't like about ourselves. And when there's full acceptance, there's a lack of shame.
mm,
And I'm not saying that shame never comes, it will always come because we're human,
right.
but it definitely diminishes its intensity
Mhm,
around our emotions and our existence because we can accept the lovely things about ourselves and the stuff that we're like, it's okay about us, but it's not going to inform our self worth and our value anymore.
that's so good. That's so good. The whole thing of we're not good, we're not bad, and just being at peace with where you are, starting where you are. It's not, the future version of you. It's who you are right now. Now, you
Yes.
mentioned women being in their heads because they're professional women, they're thinking every day and getting into their bodies more. Is that who you tend to help more? Are women that have a hard time slowing down because they lead such a busy life, probably being mothers, caretakers, and also having a career?
Yes. So the women I typically serve, they're professionals. Sometimes they have kids, sometimes they don't, but their brain, in addition to their life, is going at such a fast pace
Mhm.
that they don't quite yet have the tools to check in with their body and know when they can start to anticipate burnout, when they can anticipate anxiety,
Yeah.
like dialing up in that moment. And so they're not only physically running through their lives very quickly, but they're also mentally just trying to get to the next thing. What's the next best thing? What's the next best thing? What else do I got to do? What else is there? Like, what do they need? Do I have to do this? And just constantly running their life through how fast can I get through this to do list?
Mhm.
And the faster I get through it, the better of a person I am.
Mm, I love that. Do you have a specific client story that comes to mind that you can share with us about, how things were when she started working with you and then the different shifts she was able to make with your support? Hey, let me ask you a question. Would you like to be my next guest on the Empowered Woman podcast? Do you have a story you'd like to share? Want more visibility for your business on a show ranked in the top 0.5% in the world? Well, then head on over to martasburke.com/podcast guest for more information.
Yeah, absolutely. So one client in particular, she was brought up in a particular religion, and it was very cult-like for her. And so when she became an adult, she decided to leave that religion, but it left her feeling in dissonance because she had this upbringing of who she was supposed to be. And then she had this future of who she wanted to be, especially for her two kids. And because she had this inner dissonance of trying to please the past, but also live into her future, we allowed her to have capacity and grace and forgiveness in her life for herself, for the family that she was raised by, but also gave her the space to fail as she figured it out, that she didn't have to know right away how to reconcile her upbringing with her future, and that her past doesn't mean her future. Her past doesn't even mean her present, and that she can wipe it clean and start anew. And because she was able to start letting go of what she didn't want anymore and choose consciously and opt in like to what she actually wanted, she's felt a lot of relief. She's felt a lot of peace and calm and acceptance of where she wants to go in her life. She identifies now as bold and a bad, I don't know if you curse, but like a bad A double dollar sign. and she has amazing conversations with her kids that aren't based around guilt. They're based upon empowering her children. And they now witness their mom be fulfilled in who she's becoming, but also who she is now. And the shame has lessened incredibly. So it's amazing what coaching can do, because when you have someone who notices your blind spots, then, and this is going back to that childhood thing of having the people who love you and support you, right? And see you for your greatness. And then she's able to see what she didn't see herself. Could she have gotten there on her own? Maybe, but we saved years and years of unnecessary suffering by taking care of it now.
Yeah. Well, and I really resonate with what you said about allowing yourself to fail and not knowing how this is going to be, and you're going to figure out as you go, but you're going to start taking the steps, because that's life on all levels in different things, which brings me to the business side of things that I wanted to ask you about your business journey and, developing your offers and serving clients, picking the name, which I'm excited to hear about. How has that journey been? What have been some of the challenges and also the biggest moments of gratitude and, rewarding moments for you?
Yeah. So I got here because I had a vision for myself that I was supposed to be on a stage empowering thousands of women. And I've had this vision for years. And I just thought it was something that I liked or something that was nice to envision. But I didn't realize that it was really a calling for me to play the business game in my life a little bit differently. Like, I've been on stages for belly dance, I've performed, like I've gone international. It's been an amazing career and I still continue to have it. And now in this capacity, I get to speak and have dialogue and honest conversations, whether or not they're based around movement. And because it was so compelling for me to listen to that, I knew I had to make a change. So in January of this year, I fleshed out some ideas with my husband, and I was like, babe, oh my God, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. And so I started thinking about like what names I would choose. And I was like, should I be a confidence coach? Should I be like a body confidence coach? And it just didn't seem all encompassing for me. And what I really wanted to give to the world based on my own experience and leverage my knowledge. Because the last thing I want is for my knowledge to die with me. I
Right.
have lived an amazing life that I can share with others, that they can learn what I have. So that way they have that much further footing than I did. And so I landed on Bold Bitch Coaching because I was a little scared to put a curse word inside of my business name
Mhm.
because I knew it would immediately repel some people. But every time I looked at a woman that was like the shit, I was like, she's such a bad ass bitch. And so I couldn't deny that of myself. If I was truly encouraging others to step into their greatness, this was a part of me stepping into mine. And
Mhm.
so Bold Bitch Coaching was born. And it is one that also keeps me in check. Like, I ask myself, is this being bold? Am I stepping into my confidence? Am I stepping into my power? And
Mhm.
so not only is it telling people who I can be for them, but who they can be themselves. And it keeps us in alignment. And when I say us, I mean me and my clients, but also any version of me that shows up,
Mhm.
right? It keeps us in alignment with what we want. And I'm like, hell yes, I am ready to serve. And that's going to take some effing bold moves to
Oh,
do
yeah,
it.
absolutely. Mhm.
Yeah. And so now I'm here, like only six, like I started really pursuing it business wise in February. 6 months later, here we are,
That's
like
amazing. Well,
doing it.
congrats on taking the step and
Thank
being so
you.
bold and picking that bold name. Because you're right, it keeps you accountable too. If I'm asking this of people, then I have to be the one that leads by example
Yes.
and being a performer myself. So I don't belly dance, but I do sing. I
Yes.
totally see, the overlap there on doing scary things, being in front of people. And even if you're not teaching our movement, like what you're saying, I'm not teaching people how to sing, but I help women with messaging and getting out there and empowering others. So I totally see the parallels. That is such a fun journey. I love that. Now tell us
Thank you.
how exactly you work with women, because I know you have a few different offers to share with us here today. Before you talk about the specifics, how can people initiate a work with you? Do you offer like a call, or they find more information on your website? Tell us more.
Yeah, so definitely I offer a 45-minute breakthrough call, and that is to get clarity about that person's next steps.
Okay.
So that way we personalize the call to their nuances. We talk about how I can help them and how we can partner together for their future. So I offer that breakthrough call, and I also offer a free masterclass weekly. So that masterclass is called the Unapologetic Woman Journey, and we talk about what is actually disempowering women, and it's probably not what they think. And then we go into my 5-step proven pathway of how they can reclaim their power and implement that ish as fast as possible so they can get back on track to what really matters to them. So I have the free masterclass for them. They can book that breakthrough call. Both of them are complimentary. It's
Okay.
more important that women get started and take that first step. And I know that takes courage. So offering that complimentary helps take a little bit of that risk away for them.
I love that. And we'll have that all of that in the show notes. And I know you have something exciting starting September 18th. What is
Yes,
it?
I'm so excited. I'm dancing in my chair, y'all. So and so my Reclaiming You course is beginning. And to really set the foundation and give people the tools in order to accept their newest and most transformed life and their next level life, I'm doing a 4-week foundational curriculum. And it's to give them the tools they need to really understand how their mind works, how to implement, how to shift. So that way they can start making those changes now versus later. So that for 4 weeks is complimentary. And then it leads into the rest of Reclaiming You, which is a 90-day course. And they can continue on into the course if they choose to at a special rate. But that first 4 weeks, they can join complimentary. And I really want to urge everyone to do that, because even if you don't continue on to the rest of the course, that first 4 weeks is transformational even of itself. And it is a proud service that I have that I can offer to women now.
That is a great offer, great deal. So make sure and take advantage
Thank
of
you.
that. Whoever is listening out there, that wants to be a bold bee
Yeah.
with Samantha's support. I will put all that in the show notes as well. Now, before I have you share how people can connect with you, where you hang out the most, social media, all of the things, I love asking all of my guests my $1,000,000 question. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready, boo.
Yay! So, Samantha, what is an empowered woman to you?
An empowered woman to me, and I spent a little bit of time thinking about this because I think this is such an amazing question because it really depends on who you ask. And so for me, an empowered woman is someone who is in alignment with who she is and makes decisions based on that, even when fear is present, even when others don't agree, even when she feels like she's alone, but she stays true to herself because she trusts herself more than anyone. And to be able to walk in that kind of truth is so bold and so fierce. And every woman, I truly believe, has the capacity to be that empowered woman and be that for herself.
Oh, that is so good. Staying in alignment with who you are. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. How can people connect with you?
So I'm on Instagram at Bold Bitch Coaching. I'm also on TikTok at Bold Bitch Coaching. If you can spell Bold Bitch Coaching, I'm on YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. You will find me.
Awesome. So you are very visible, especially
I'm super visible.
So good. Oh, well, thank you so much for the work that you're doing, and thank you for taking the time to share with us and empower us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with your listeners. And I look forward to contributing to you all very soon. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope this episode empowered you. And if you enjoyed the show, please join the Empowered Woman community on Facebook and share with friends or leave a review on iTunes so more people can discover this empowering message. Until next time, bye.